Friends, imagine this. You're lost in a vast, desolate desert, the sun beating down and hope is fading. Suddenly, you stumble upon a lone hut, and a young man appears. What happens next is a story so unbelievable, it sounds like a movie. But this is the true story of Habib, a young man from Bangladesh, and 5 young women whose lives he changed forever. It all started when 5 wealthy young women from Saudi Arabia decided to go on a desert adventure. But their fun trip turned into a nightmare when their car broke down, leaving them stranded in the middle of nowhere. Just as despair set in, they saw a faint light in the distance. It was a small, isolated dwelling, a madra, and inside was Habib. He welcomed them without a second thought, offering them shelter from the harsh desert night. But who was this kind stranger? Habib's story began far away in a poor village in Bangladesh. As a boy, he wasn't interested in school. He would often deceive his parents, taking money meant for books and uniforms and spending it with his friends. This went on 4 years until one day his father, heartbroken and angry, confronted him. The look of disappointment in his father's eyes was a turning point for Habib. Overwhelmed with shame, he vowed to change his ways. He started working, doing hard manual labor, and began sending money home to his family. Seeing their struggles, he offered to go abroad to earn more and give his parents a better life. This journey led him to Saudi Arabia, but life there wasn't easy either. He was offered a job that no one else wanted, managing a remote farm in the heart of the desert. The conditions were brutal, the isolation was immense, but the pay was good, around 4,000 to 5,000 rials a month. For the sake of his family, Habib accepted. He spent his days and nights alone, with only the vast, silent desert for company. It was during a fierce, stormy night that his lonely existence was interrupted. The 5 young women, drenched and terrified, appeared at his door, begging for help. Habib, despite having very little himself, immediately offered them his small home. He gave them his own blankets and made sure they felt safe and protected. He slept outside his own room, guarding them through the night. As the days passed, the women were astonished by Habib's character. Here was a man living in extreme poverty, yet his generosity and kindness knew no bounds. They were curious about him, asking about his life in Bangladesh and how he ended up in this remote place. Habib answered their questions with simple honesty, telling them about his past mistakes and his desire to provide for his parents. His truthfulness and humility deeply impressed them. 5 days went by and their car still wouldn't start. The women were getting worried, but Habib reassured them. He told them they were welcome to stay with him for as long as needed, that they would be safe under his care. His genuine concern for their well-being, with no expectation of reward, touched their hearts. Finally, the owner of the farm arrived. He was shocked to find the women there, and after hearing their story, he drove them back to the city. But they didn't forget the young man who had been their guardian angel. They recognized Habib's rare integrity and good heart. A few days later, they returned with an incredible offer. They invited him to leave the harsh desert life and join their father's company in the city. They offered him double his salary and a comfortable office job. Habib's life was transformed. He briefly returned to his village in Bangladesh, not as the lazy boy who disappointed his father, but as a respectable man laden with gifts for his family. His parents wept with joy, proud of the man their son had become. It was all thanks to the 5 women whose lives he had saved. But here's where the story takes another unexpected turn. Back in Saudi Arabia, life wasn't as simple as he had hoped. The 5 women who had started as his benefactors had all developed strong feelings for him. Each one saw him as their hero, their ideal partner. What started as gratitude blossomed into affection and soon into rivalry. The friendship between the women began to fray as jealousy and competition took over. They vied for his attention, creating a tense and stressful atmosphere. Habib found himself in an impossible situation. He was grateful to them, but he was caught in the middle of their emotional storm. The peace he had found was shattered, replaced by distress and confusion. The 5 women who had lifted him out of poverty were now unknowingly causing him immense pain. How could he choose between them without hurting the others? What was the right thing to do? This incredible true story shows how a single act of kindness can change destinies. But it also reveals how complex human emotions can be. What do you think Habib should do? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing true stories.